Hello dear students, welcome to English class. I hope all of you are doing well. Students, I'll be continuing with the poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Well. So in the previous video, I explained the first two stanzas of this poem. In this poem, the poet basically gives us several clues in order to identify wild animals. For example, if we go to any forest or if we come across any animal in the forest, then how to identify that wild animal, but in a very humorous way. So the poet has given several descriptions about animals, about wild animals, that if they happen to come across, if we happen to see them or meet them, then how can we identify that which animal is there in front of us. So the poet has given several descriptions about the animal in a very funny, humorous and interesting way. So I hope you have seen the previous video in which I had explained about the first two stanzas. In the first stanza, the poet gave description about Asian lion, and in the second stanza the poet gave description about the Bengal tiger. Now let's come to the third stanza, and then we'll find out that about which wild animal the poet is giving us several humorous clues. So first let me recite the third stanza, and then I'll be explaining you this stanza. So, if strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. 'Twill do not good to roar with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. So before I explain you this stanza, let me tell you the word meanings, the meanings of several difficult words. Strolling. What is the meaning of strolling? Strolling means walking casually. Strolling means walking casually. And forth, strolling forth. Forth means forward, means walking casually forward. Forward. Okay. Then we have hide. Here hide means skin of animal. In this stanza, in this poem, hide means skin of animal. Then we have peppered. Peppered means, here it means covered with spots. Okay. In this stanza, in this poem, the meaning of peppered is covered with spots. And leapt. Leapt means jump towards someone. I hope that the word meanings are clear. Now let me come to the explanation of this stanza. So the poet says that if you are casually walking in a forest, if you are casually walking in a jungle and you happen to meet an animal who has skin with spots on it, means the animal is having spots in the complete body, and that animal is so fast that it will leap on you at once, which means he will jump on you at once, he will pounce on you at once. And this jumping of this animal, this jumping towards you, what this animal indicates that it is none other than a leopard. So in the third stanza, the poet is talking about leopard. The poet is describing about leopard. What is the first sign? That leopard will have spots on its body. And the second, he will quickly jump on you. He will jump towards you. And the poet also adds that if you cry out in pain, suppose the leopard jumps at you, and if you are crying and you are shouting in pain, then that shouting or that crying is not going to help you at all. There will not be use of shouting and crying in pain, because the leopard, it will keep on jumping on you. So here the poet has explained the characteristics of a leopard. So the poet says that in a very humorous manner again, that if you are attacked by a leopard, then there is no way to escape, because that leopard will continuously jump on you and there will not be use of shouting or crying in pain. So again and again he will leap, means jump. So he will continuously jump on you, and as a result of which you will not be alive. So again the poet is saying that if you happen to meet this animal, then certainly you will die. So what is the use of knowing about this animal? Is there any use? If you will not be alive, then why you need to know about this animal? There is no use. So I hope that this poem is understood by everybody. Now let me come to the literary devices that are used in this poem. So first let me talk about the rhyme scheme of this stanza. Rhyme scheme. So the last word of the first line of the stanza is view, which will be given alphabet A. Then the second word is, then the last word of the second line is peppered, which will be given alphabet B. Third is U, view, U, they are rhyming, so you will be given alphabet A. Then we have leopard, peppered, leopard, they are rhyming, so leopard will be given alphabet B. Then we have pain, which will be given C, and at last we have again, pain again, they are rhyming in a way, so pain and again will be given alphabet C. So the rhyme scheme will be A, B, A, B, C, C. So I hope that the rhyming scheme is clear to everybody. Then now let me talk about the figures of speech that are used in this stanza. First we have alliteration. Alliteration means use of consonant sound, means repetition of consonant sound, like he has, H, there they means the words have the same consonant sound, which means alliteration. Then we have assonance. Assonance means the vowel sound is repeated, that means strolling forth you, here O sound is used, strolling O is there, forth U O is there, and U also O is there. Then whose spot, whose O is there, and in spot also O is there. Then another figure of speech is repetition, the use of lep word in the last line, twice it has been used, so this is called repetition. So I hope that the third stanza is clear to everybody. Now students, let me come to the fourth stanza, as you can see on the screen. So the fourth stanza is, if when you are walking around your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it's a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more he'll give you just one more carcass. Now let me explain you the word meanings of, let me give you the meanings of the difficult words. Yard. Yard means the back area or the backyard, which you call the lawn area of your house, that is called backyard, the back portion. Then we have caress. Caress means a gentle or loving touch is called caress. So I hope that all the other words are clear. There are no other hard words other than these two words. Now let me come to the explanation. Now in the fourth stanza, the poet says that suppose you are walking in the lawn area of your house, the backyard, you are walking very casually, you are just moving or walking in the backyard of your house, and you suddenly meet a creature which hugs you tightly. Now which creature is hugging you tightly? So poet is saying that if you are moving very casually in the backyard of your house and a creature comes and hugs you very lovingly, then it is a bear. So the poet is saying about the bear that if any creature hugs you, that certainly means that the animal is bear. And she further adds that if you are still in doubt regarding the animal, that which animal is this, then the easiest way is that the bear will keep hugging you, it will keep touching you very gently, okay, very properly, very softly. The bear will not leave you. No, the bear will keep on hugging you and touching you very softly, and this act of his will make you sure about his identities. From this behavior of bear, you can easily identify the animal, that which animal is hugging you. So this, if you come across a bear, if you come across a creature who is hugging you continuously, then be sure that that animal is a bear. So I hope that this stanza is clear to everybody. Now let me come to the rhyme scheme of this stanza. The last word of the first line of this stanza is yard. which will be given alphabet A. Then we have there, which will be given alphabet B. Then we have hard in the third line. Yard, hard, they are rhyming. So hard will be given alphabet A. Then we have bear, there, bear, they are rhyming. So it will be bear will be given alphabet B. Then we have guess in the fifth line, which will be given alphabet C, and in the last line we have chorus, guess, chorus. They are means rhyming in a way. So chorus will be given alphabet C. So the rhyming scheme will be A B C C. Now alliteration is used. Alliteration means use of means consonant sound. W sound is repeated when walking. When walking in the first line of this of the fourth stanza. So alliteration is used when walking. Then H sound is also there. Who hugs? Who hugs? B sound. B bear in the fourth line. B bear. So I hope that the fourth stanza is clear to everybody. In the fourth stanza, the poet has given clues. The poet has suggested ways in order to identify a bear. Now students, let me come to the fifth stanza of this poem. So the fifth stanza is, though to distinguish beasts of prey a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. So first let me tell about the difficult words. What is the meaning of distinguish? Which is a very easy word. Distinguish means differentiate, to differentiate. That refers to distinguish. Then we have beasts of prey. What is the meaning of beasts of prey? It means any animal that hunts other animal for food. That refers to beasts of prey. Then we have novice. Novice means someone new to a job. A person or anybody who is new to any job refers to novice. Then we have nonplus. Nonplus means confused, puzzled. Puzzled or confused refers to nonplus. So I hope that the difficult words are clear to everybody. Now let me move to the explanation of this stanza. So the poet says that for someone who is new to the job of recognizing animals, somebody who is not knowing how to recognize animals, someone who is new, a person who went to the forest for the first time, or he or she is not aware about the characteristics of animals or the clues regarding animals, then so the poet is here asking question to the readers that how they will recognize beasts that hunt their prey, means how they will recognize the animals. Beast means animals. So how they will recognize the animals that hunt other animals for food, means what is the indication mark, what are the clues from where they can identify the animals who hunt their prey. So here the poet tries to help out the readers, those who are new, those who are means about the novice people, those who are new to the job, who do not know how to recognize a wild animal. So poet is trying to help the readers by telling the difference between two animals. In this stanza, the poet is talking about two animals, the hyenas and crocodiles. So first she explains about hyenas. So she says that whenever the hyenas are catching their prey or when they are hunting, then they have beautiful smile on their face. Is it possible to see? Not really. But the poet is, as you know, that this is a very humorous poem, and in a very interesting and light mood, the poet is saying that the hyenas, when they are catching their prey, then they have merry smile. Merry smile means they come with merry smile. The hyenas come with merry smile. Merry means happy. They are happy. They are smiling. A smile is there on their face. So if a smile is there on the face of the animal, for sure that animal is hyena. Okay. If the animal is attacking its prey, and is smiling at the same time, then you can easily recognize that the animal is hyena. So this was about hyena, that hyenas have smiling face. Next, the poet talks about crocodiles, that how you will identify that a crocodile is attacking its prey, or the crocodile is eating another animal for food. So the poet is saying that, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. So the poet is saying that if that animal is attacking another animal and the animal is crying at the same time, weeping means to cry, weep means to cry. So the poet says that if that animal is attacking its prey for food, and at the same time the animal has tears in its eyes, then be sure that the animal will be crocodile, or the animal is crocodile. So the crocodiles have tears in the eyes according to the poet. So she says that if they have tears in the eyes, then while catching the prey, then for sure that wild animal will be crocodile. So in this stanza, the poet has given description about two animals, hyenas and crocodiles. If the animals are smiling, they have a beautiful smile while catching the prey, then be sure it will be hyenas. And if the animal is having tears in its eyes, then be sure that animal will be crocodile. So what a funny description, right? Now let me come to the literary devices that are used in the poem. So first of all, let me come to the rhyme scheme. So if I see the last word of this stanza, in the first line, the last word is pray, which will be given alphabet A. Then in the second line, the last word is nonplus, which will be given alphabet B. Then in the third line, the last word is may. Pray and may, they are rhyming, so may will be given alphabet A. Then we have thus, nonplus thus, they are rhyming in a way, so thus will be given alphabet B. Then we have smiles and crocodiles. Smiles and crocodiles in the fifth and sixth line respectively will be given alphabet C. So the rhyme scheme will be A, B, A, B, C, C. I hope that this stanza is clear to everybody. Also students, one more figure of speech is used, that is alliteration. In line 2, novice, nonplus, the use of N, the use of consonant N, novice and nonplus. And in the fourth line, the, thus, TT, sound the H. Sorry, not H. The sound TH, the, thus. So this is also alliteration. So I hope that the fifth stanza is clear to everybody. Now students, in the next video I will be explaining the last stanza of this poem, as well as I will be explaining you the question answers that are given after the poem. Till then, stay safe and thank you so much.